I got a friend request on WhatsApp from a stranger. He was polite enough. "Hi wifey, I'm from 10 years in the future. I'm your husband." What a bizarre new scam. So, I did a quick search and pulled up his info. Staring at the location pin on my computer screen, right over the house of the guy I grew up with, I fell into a deep thought. I'd run into a total psycho. He added me on WhatsApp, and the first thing he said was, "Wifey. Hi wifey, I'm from 10 years in the future. I'm your husband, you know." Are the overseas call centers getting creative? What kind of cutesy scammer was this? And he had the nerve to try this on me, of all people. I didn't take it seriously and went back to my game. But the scammer was persistent. "Wifey, why are you ignoring me? You don't believe me? I can prove it." So confident. I decided to mess with him a little. "Tell me next Monday's winning lottery numbers. Then I'll believe you." I was seriously broke lately. To think I was pinning my hopes on a scammer. "Let's see what you can cook up, buddy. If you can pull this off, I'll be impressed." Scammer, I knew you'd ask me that. Don't you always buy 5 quick pick tickets? Go buy them next Monday. It's a guaranteed win. Interesting. This scammer even knew about that little habit of mine. Looks like an inside job. My interest was piqued. Fine. Let's play. On Monday, I went to the corner store by my apartment and bought 5 quick pick tickets, just like always. On the night of the drawing, I watched the live stream, not expecting much. The lottery machine started tumbling, and the host's voice had a hint of excitement. "Please have your tickets ready and keep your favorite numbers in mind. Let's all look forward to this drawing's winning numbers." The red balls rolled around inside the transparent sphere. Soon, the first ball dropped. The host announced, "The first red ball is number 22. My hand holding the ticket tightened. The first number matched. Before I could react, the second ball followed. The host continued, "The second red ball is number 33. My hand tightened again. That one matched too. The third red ball is number 14. With every number the host announced, my eyes grew wider. By the time the final blue Powerball was drawn, my jaw hit the floor. 22, 33, 14, 1, 17, and 9. Holy crap. Every single number was right. I was a little dazed. Did I really win? My phone screen flickered weirdly. It was a message from the scammer. "Wifey, you won. Are you happy?" After claiming the prize, I was still in a daze staring at the string of zeros that had suddenly appeared in my bank account balance. I picked up my phone and texted the scammer. "Are you really my future husband? Emicham, the one and only. Do we know each other now?" "Of course. Tell me your name." Suddenly, he became mysterious. "Why don't you guess, wifey? There's a reward if you get it right." What's with this cutesy husband act? "Oh, right, wifey, haven't you been wanting a new phone? That camera phone you were eyeing at Best Buy just went on sale. Go get it." He knew I was broke, and he knew I needed a new phone. I stroked my chin. My gut told me this wasn't so simple. I logged into WhatsApp on my computer and set a trap for the scammer on the other end. "Okay, hubby." The scammer got excited. "You finally believe me, wifey." I continued to lure him in. "Are we legally married?" "Of course." "Well then, wifey wants to see her future husband's abs right now." I'd rendered the scammer speechless. My bad. First time being scammed, I didn't quite get the etiquette right. My phone was buried in my blankets. After 5 minutes of silence, it buzzed. "Big enough?" "Haven't been working out as hard lately, just maintaining. Hope wifey doesn't mind." I clicked on the picture, glanced at it, and couldn't stop myself from drooling a little. Broad shoulders, tight abs, pale skin, and the lean muscle I liked. This scammer. wasn't half bad. His photography skills needed some work, though. He didn't even get my favorite part, his Adam's apple, in the shot. My sharp eyes caught a small red mole near the hollow of his collarbone. Huh. Why did that look so familiar? I pressed on with my trap. So big, I love it. Hubby, can you send a few more original files? Wifey wants to pick the best one for her lock screen to bless her eyes. The scammer was over the moon with my praise. Whoosh, 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 he sent over several original photos. I saved them one by one. I copied the GPS coordinates from the metadata and plugged them into a map site. The Sterling Towers, waterfront. Staring at the address on the screen, I fell into a deep thought. An absurdly expensive part of town. I only knew one person who lived there. My ex-boyfriend of 1 month. The guy I grew up with, Jackson. A smile crept onto my face. Gotcha, scammer. After 2 days of silence, the scammer popped up again to make his presence known. Have you guessed who I am yet, wifey? I was at my part-time job. During a break, I squeezed in a moment to reply. I teased him. Jackson? The other person is typing. I deleted the message instantly. Nah, it can't be him. We had a huge fight right before winter break. He even said if he ever spoke to me first again, he was a dog. He wouldn't come begging to be my dog, would he? Ugh, it's so hard to guess with all these admirers. So I guess you're. The scammer panicked. Don't think about anyone else, wifey. It's me, Jackson. I'm wifey's most loyal puppy. Woof woof. I opened my main chat with Jackson. The conversation had been dead for almost a whole month. His social feed was empty, too. On his main account, he was playing the cold, aloof type. But on his alt, he was pretending to be my dog. What was he playing at? I deliberately followed his lead. Are you saying that in 10 years, Jackson and I are married? Scammer, yes, and we're super in love. We're planning to have a baby next year. You always say your biggest regret was being too cold in high school and not treating me better. So cherish this chance, wifey. Don't leave your youth with any regrets. School started again on Monday. During the break after morning reading, I was coming out of the bathroom and past the corner stairwell. Before I even got close, the acrid smell of smoke drifted over. It was a blind spot for the security cameras, so it was chaos central first thing in the morning. Boss, didn't you bet that the class president would come asking to get back together within a month? It's been 2 weeks since school started, how come there's no movement? The class president is so aloof, she means what she says. Don't tell me she actually dumped you, Jackson. Hearing the familiar name, I stopped in my tracks. Then I heard Jackson's unique voice. Raspy and trying way too hard to sound cool. It was just a fight. We grew up together. We've known each other our whole lives. You think she'd dare dump me? Just wait. The second I even frown, she won't be able to resist coming back to me. I held my breath, backed away, and headed down the other end of the hall. Everyone knows it. Famous last words. You're just setting yourself up for a spectacular fall. During the long break, just as morning exercises were ending, Jackson and his crew came back up from the stairwell. I was waiting by the classroom door. His buddies waved at me from down the hall. Yo, class president. I smiled back. Holy crap, did I just see that? Did the class president just smile at me? Ah, I'm dead. How can she be so beautiful when she smiles? Jackson deliberately avoided my gaze, putting on a stern face from afar. Such an actor. When they reached the door, I stuck out an arm to block them. A quick smirk flashed across Jackson's lips before vanishing. But I still caught that my evil plan is working look. His friends exchanged glances, huddled together, and rubbed their hands like excited flies. Here it comes, here it comes. She's gonna ask him to get back together. His tall frame cast a shadow over me. I looked up at him. Objectively speaking, when Jackson wasn't being a dog, his features were sharp and intense, handsome to an intimidating degree. His cool eyes glanced down at me. What? Got something to say to me? I nodded and beckoned him closer with my finger. The moment he leaned down, I grabbed him by the collar. As he saw me stand on my toes and lean in, the tips of his ears turned so red they looked like they were about to bleed. He struggled to suppress a smile, a look of pure, smug satisfaction on his face. WH what? What are you doing? Oh my God, she's going for a kiss. His friends all covered their faces. Jackson's face was as red as a tomato, his lips puckered up high. His eyelashes fluttered. He was playing hard to get. I slowly raised my other hand and then shoved it flat against his forehead. You, and all of you, skipping morning exercises to smoke during break is a violation of class rules. Everyone, to the track. Now. Jackson was sentenced to run laps on the track. His wild blonde hair was eye-catching under the sun. His buddies stood on the sidelines, watching him like he was a zoo animal. Wait, I thought the deal was, the boss just had to frown and the class president would come begging to get back together? How come the class president frowned and the boss ended up on the running track? Damn, when it comes to dog training, the class president is on another level, surprised face. Terrifying. I leaned against the railing, watching Jackson on his last lap, so tired he was dragging his feet. All brawn, no brains. For a dimwit like him to think of making an alt account to pretend to be his future self. It was almost impressive. Whatever. I'll play along. With a slight smile, I pulled out my phone and texted the scammer. Hubby. The current you is not being a good boy at all. Smoking, bleaching your hair, and ignoring class rules. For the sake of our future happiness, I'm giving you a little punishment. You're not mad at me, are you, hubby? On the track across the field, Jackson pulled out his phone while running. The next second, he took off like he'd been shot out of a cannon. Never. Wifey only scolds me because she loves me. Love and discipline, going hand in hand, is the core of our healthy relationship. Such a good boy. Jackson, woof woof. The weather started to warm up. Jackson dyed his hair back to a light brown. He got a soft, layered cut that fell across his forehead. His sharp edge softened. Looking at him from the back of the class, his profile seemed a little sweet, a little docile. I rested my chin on my hand and watched him for a while, then, during study hall, I quietly took out my phone from my desk. What's my husband from 10 years in the future up to? The you today actually dyed your hair back to its original color. And you got the haircut I love most. What a coincidence, it's the exact one I shared with you the other day. So cute. I love it. Under the light, Jackson's ears were thin and translucent. A blush crept up from his neck to his face. Like a shy little animal. I casually looked away just before he turned his head. Under my desk, my phone buzzed. As long as wifey likes it. So when are you planning on getting back together with Jackson? Not trying to rush you, since we're going to get married in the end anyway. But 18-year-old Jackson is so pitiful after being dumped by wifey. I cast my line, playing along. No rush. Dating too early affects your studies. The me from 10 years from now graduated from UCLA, right? But the you right now is barely passing. And you know, I've always found men who love to study the most attractive. The next day, for the first time ever, Jackson showed up to school with a backpack. He even cornered a teacher during break to ask questions. Mr. Davis, I wanted to ask about this problem, and this one, and this one. The teacher looked stressed. Son. It's great that you want to learn. But I'm the chemistry teacher. You're asking me about the English homework. OMG. Jackson was determined to transform from the resident bad boy into a star student. His parents were so happy they cried, saying their ancestors must be smiling down on them. They signed him up for tutoring in every subject. The result? He drove away 2 tutors in half a day. Jackson's mom hired me to be his study partner. $500 an hour. I hesitated. Mrs. Cole, isn't that more than what the actual tutors charge? Jackson, acting like a spoiled brat, yelled from the side, "Who needs her to be a study partner? I can study by myself." With that, he opened his math book and faced the physics tutor. "Mr. Harris, you can continue now." Mrs. Cole's hands, adorned with emerald rings, rested on my shoulders. "My mahjong group is missing a player, sweetie. I have to run." Then she pressed a red-handled wooden switch into my hand. "I'm counting on you, Tessa." Why did this gig come with teaching aids? Jackson acted like he had mad cow disease, getting excited at the sight of red. "Are you going to hit me?" He wiggled around on the stool. "It's been a while since I've been spanked. Give me a minute to mentally prepare." His cheeky attitude was making me itch to do it. I smacked the switch across his thigh. "Shut up. Study." After 2 days of this, he wouldn't give me the time of day in person, but at night, his true colors came out on my phone. Scammer. "Wifey, did I study hard today?" Without wifey's advice, there would be no progress for hubby today. Without wifey's discipline, hubby wouldn't be so motivated today. "Hit me hard, don't hold back." I exited the chat and immediately changed my pre-ordered McDonald's breakfast to KFC for the next morning. I didn't do well on the practice exams. My rank dropped a bit. I couldn't sleep that night, just lying in bed playing a mindless game on my phone to distress. A message from the scammer popped up in the dark. "Wifey, you asleep?" I wasn't in the mood to deal with him. He was persistent. Wifey, let me show you something good." Image curious, I clicked on them and was immediately captivated by the sea of pale skin. Jackson's photography skills were getting better and better. Under the soft light. Pecs, abs, lats, biceps. Each muscle was defined, perfectly sculpted. Damn, this was way more effective than any distressing game. I saved every single one and pushed my luck. Where's the Adam's apple? I want to see the Adam's apple. For the first time ever, the scammer sent a 30-second video. In the quiet of the night, Jackson tilted his head back. A sharp, triangular jawline connected to a long neck. His skin was tinged pink, and his Adam's apple was prominent. It bobbed up and down. I couldn't help but reach out and touch the screen. Such a good boy. I really wanted to put a leash on him. "Scammer, is wifey feeling any better?" I pouted. "How did you know I was upset?" Just that afternoon, my homeroom teacher had called me in for a lecture. When I came out of the office, I walked past Jackson in the hallway. To keep up his cool guy act in front of his friends, he didn't even glance at me. "Scammer, you've been online in that game all night. The present you is the same way. When you're upset, you just play those little games for hours." Oops, he'd managed to explain it away again. I couldn't really blame him. We'd been childhood friends for so many years he knew all my habits inside and out. Before I went to sleep, I asked the scammer. "Jackson, what am I like in 10 years? Do I become an amazing adult?" For once, the scammer was serious. "Tessa, don't get anxious about the future just because of one setback. I promise you, in 10 years, you'll be very, very happy." I got a new phone. 1 terabyte of storage. My photo gallery was filled with the scammer's pecs and abs. Lately, the kid was worried I was too stressed about my studies. He'd randomly send a pic over to comfort me. It was very stimulating and very comforting. I gratefully accepted them all and even started making custom requests. "You're so pale, hubby, this would look great on you. And this silver one, this lace one, this beaded one." I sent him links while practically hyperventilating. "Jackson, wifey, slow down, hubby can't keep up with all these outfits. He realized his mistake and deleted the message a second later. Then a voice message came through. He was trying to sound cool, but he was obviously nervous. Sorry, my account was hacked. You didn't see anything, did you? Idiot forgot to switch accounts. I waited an hour before replying. I played dumb. Huh? What did you send? I was just playing with my dog, I didn't see anything. That was close. I almost lost my digital pet. The next day at school, I overheard my desk mate whispering with the person behind us. Did you hear? Jackson got into a fight with the bad boy from the school next door, and his shirt collar got torn open. And he scared the other guy away. Huh? Why? I don't know. I just heard that a holy light flashed from Jackson's chest, and the other guy screamed and got blasted back. He ended up scrambling away, shouting, "Freak! He's got chains on his nips." Me. The countdown to the SATs began. Test prep went into overdrive. The scammer started texting a lot less. The day before the first exam, my phone vibrated. Besides another heart pounding a pic, there was a short message of encouragement. Go get wifey. Hubby's got your back. A warmth spread through my chest. I tucked my phone under my pillow and drifted off to a peaceful sleep. After the last exam, I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. I was too excited to sleep that night, so I decided to entertain myself by teasing my puppy. Scammer, wifey, how'd you do? You're asking me? Shouldn't I be asking you? Quick, tell me, what did I score? He was pretty good at covering his tracks. It's no fun if you know ahead of time. I want to save the surprise for wifey. Hey wifey, finals are over, so you can date now. So when are you going to ask Jackson to get back together? He really wanted me to be the one to ask. I decided to be mischievous. Are you sure he'll say yes if I ask? The you right now is playing it so cool. Besides, you only said we'd be married in 10 years. You never said I wouldn't fall for someone else in between. What if someone asks me out after graduation? Let's just wait and see. The typing indicator appeared at the top of the chat. But after a long wait, no message came. Was he mad? Summer vacation. There was an endless stream of parties and get-togethers. I was busy working part-time at my aunt's pet store, so I skipped all of them. My desk mate called me. How many times have you bailed? Everyone's coming tonight. It'll be rude if you don't show. She lowered her voice, her tone teasing. I'll let you in on a secret. There's a surprise tonight. I didn't find out until I got there. The surprise she was talking about was Leo. Leo transferred to our class in junior year. He came out of nowhere on the first exam and tied with me for first place in the class. On the Northwood High Confessions page, our pictures were once posted side by side. He was also the reason my fight with Jackson had escalated into a cold war that lasted a whole semester. I arrived late, and the only empty seat was next to Leo. I naturally sat down there. When I looked up, I saw Jackson's almost murderous glare from across the table. Long time no see, Leo said to me. Long time no see. Still aiming for UCLA? Yeah. You? His gaze tightened on my face. Same. There were gasps from across the table. Dude, that's wine, not grape juice. Don't chug it like that. While everyone else was busy talking about college applications, Jackson was busy chugging. He downed 2 bottles by himself. I noticed what was happening out of the corner of my eye, frowned, and walked over to him, pulling the bottle from his hand. Stop drinking. His eyes were red from the alcohol. He yelled, You think you can tell me what to do? Who do you think you are? You could hear a pin drop in the private room. Everyone had their getting the tea faces on. Fine, you want to play it like that? I smiled sweetly and pushed the bottle back into his hand. Never mind. Do whatever you want. Jackson drank himself into a stupor. He kept mumbling deliriously. Wifey. Who stole my wifey? Where's my wifey? She's, like, this big. Then his left foot tripped his right, and he crashed to the floor. I couldn't stand to watch anymore. I walked over, gritted my teeth, and hauled him up, shoving him into the arms of one of his buddies. He's drunk. Get him home. Jackson looked up pitifully, his eyes welling with tears, the corners drooping like a sad little puppy. He brought his hands to his chest and looked like he was about to rip his shirt off. Wifey, don't go. I'm wearing the lace one today. Look at me. Please. Don't look at anyone else. His friends quickly grabbed his mischievous hands. Heh, our boss is well developed. He's used to wearing an extra layer. Don't mind him, everyone, don't mind him. As everyone watched Jackson being dragged away, they turned back and gave me looks that were hard to decipher. The class president is really something else. Look what she's turned our school's bad boy into. OMG. My reputation. The next day, a sober Jackson was all bluster. I hear I was calling you wifey last night? Ha. I was just drunk. You didn't actually take it seriously, did you? I couldn't be bothered to reply. A moment later, I got a message from the scammer. Get back with Jackson, wifey. Get back together. Get back together. Is he not worried about developing split personality disorder? My aunt's pet store was swamped. Jackson showed up with a flyer to apply for a job. I took him to the back room to find a hat and apron. The young master is here to experience real life? He was still acting tough. What, I can't. Leo came in to get his dog a bath. Jackson pushed past me, rushing to greet him. Welcome. Dog wash? 2 of them. Leo, holding a toy poodle, said. Leo's dog and Jackson were natural enemies. One moment it was jumping out of the tub, the next it was splashing water everywhere. Jackson was soaked from head to toe. He let out a strange noise. Ah, so cold. When the store was quiet, Jackson would study with an insatiable thirst for knowledge. He pestered my aunt with questions. Auntie, what's this? A dog leash. This? A collar. This one? A muzzle. Jackson looked thoughtful. After washing 10 dogs in one day, I went home so exhausted my eyes were glazed over, and I collapsed on the floor. A message from the scammer came in. What's wifey up to? I got some new gear recently. Look good. Image, I opened them one by one. A metal muzzle clamped over a sharp jaw. A black leather and metal collar fastened around a pale neck. A shimmering silver chain draped across a firm, full chest. My blood started pumping faster, and a wave of heat washed over me. My nose felt warm. Oh, I am so down bad. Leo had been coming by a lot lately. Coincidentally, he always managed to come when Jackson wasn't on shift. It's my brother and his girlfriend's dog. If it doesn't get a bath every few days, it starts to really stink. I put down my phone and gestured with my hand. Just put him on the table. The toy poodle was very well behaved. I started lathering his back with shampoo. He would even stick out his little pink tongue and lick my hand. Leo watched quietly for a moment, then suddenly asked, "You like dogs this much? How about I get you one?" I kept scrubbing and rubbing. My expression didn't change. No thanks. I already have a dog. Hearing this, Leo's eyes dimmed. Is that so? That's a shame. After the dog was clean, I walked them both to the door. Leo turned back, his gaze deep. Tessa, I hope I'll see you on campus at UCLA. Then, his eyes flickered, and he suddenly pulled me into a hug, his arms circling me. He whispered ambiguously by my shoulder. Careful. There's a dog behind you. I watched his car drive away. When I turned around, sure enough, I was met with a pair of puppy dog eyes. Jackson's eyes were wet, the corners drooping. He looked so wronged he was about to cry. "Tessa, and you said you hadn't changed your mind about me?" Jackson turned and walked away. He didn't even give me time to react. I watched his retreating back, opened my mouth, but no sound came out. I have trouble expressing my feelings. I'm not good at comforting people. That time we broke up during winter break, Jackson made a huge scene. "You're at tutoring classes all day. Who else is in those classes? Can't you just spare half a day to go on a date with me?" I thought he was being unreasonable. All I could do was try to calm him down. "Can you just stop?" And of course, Leo showed up as if on cue. "Tessa, let's go, we're going to be late for class." In an instant, Jackson's expression became guarded, like a wolf whose territory had been invaded. He bared his teeth. "It's because of him, isn't it? Tessa, have you moved on? If you go with him today, we're breaking up." The tutoring class was $200 an hour. Wasting 1 minute was like wasting $4. I gritted my teeth and turned to leave. "We'll talk when you've calmed down." When I reached the corner, I couldn't help but look back. Jackson was standing there alone. Like a big, sad dog. So pitiful. I really wanted to drag him to tutoring with me. But I couldn't. I had to focus on studying for the SATs. Jackson could waste his time however he wanted no matter what, his parents would be there to catch him. But I couldn't. My parents were divorced. My dad remarried and had another daughter. "You dare take your mom's last name? Then I, a phone, don't recognize you as my daughter." When men turn cold, they can be truly heartless, caring more about a name than a person. I was no longer the one and only heiress. If I wanted to stay in the same world as Jackson, the only way was to rely on my own hard work. I was distracted all afternoon. My aunt came back to take over my shift. One of Jackson's friends called me, wailing, "Class president, you have to come. Jackson's drunk, and he's crying so hard he can't breathe. Is he going to die?" I followed the location pin to a dive bar. Plastic tables and chairs were knocked over everywhere. Jackson's friends were surrounding him, keeping onlookers away. "What are you looking at? Ever see a guy with a broken heart before?" I hurried over, pushed through the crowd, and knelt in front of him. I patted his cheek. "Jackson, wake up." Jackson didn't open his eyes. He grabbed my hand, pressed his nose to my wrist and sniffed, then whimpered, "Wifey." Silly dog. A drunk Jackson was seriously heavy. 20th floor of the Sterling Towers. The moment we got through the door, I was completely spent. Jackson wrapped his arms around me, and we tumbled onto the sofa. I tried to get up. He rolled over, pinning me back down. Cuddle with wifey. A hot face, hot lips. A hot body. I felt like I was being steamed alive. My face was burning up. I pushed against his thick chest, which was pressing down on me so hard I could barely breathe. "Get up." "No, kisses for wifey." Wait, where was he trying to kiss? I quickly grabbed his head. I squinted, studying him. Was he really drunk, or just faking it? I wriggled free from Jackson and went to the bathroom, testing him by texting the scammer. "Hubby, the present you is drunk and won't stop crying. How do I get him to stop?" The scammer replied instantly. "He won't, he's easy to soothe. Just like calming down a puppy. A hug and a kiss will do the trick. You should try it." Heh. Good at looking out for himself, wasn't he? When I went back to the living room, Jackson was lying on his back on the sofa. He was so big. His body was restlessly shifting around. The buttons on his shirt were undone one by one. The pale skin of his chest was exposed, catching the light with a faint shimmer. What was that? He casually rolled over. A delicate, shimmering silver chain fell out from his collar, dangling over the edge of the sofa. It swayed with his movements. Hiss. I don't think I can hold back much longer. I walked over and blew a gentle puff of air on his fluttering eyelashes. Jackson, open your eyes. Jackson opened his eyes. They were watery and bright, dark and shiny. I couldn't resist. I leaned down and kissed those devoted eyes. Jackson, let's get back together. His chest vibrated, and without warning, he started crying. He rolled over and hugged me tight. Don't mess with me. If we get back together, you can't break up with me again. Tessa, don't leave me again. Wet tears soaked my collar. After a moment, I realized it wasn't tears. It was his tongue. I grabbed his hair, putting the brakes on things. He whimpered. Hiss. Has he actually turned into a dog? I'd wanted a puppy ever since I was little. When I was a kid, a little stray wandered into our yard. I was ecstatic. I gave him a bath, fed him, and even begged my dad to build him a doghouse. But halfway through building the house, the dog ran away. I cried my eyes out, clinging to my mom's neck. Why? I was so good to him. My mom sighed. Tessa, a puppy isn't a person. They need to be trained. A stray is used to being free. You can be good to it in your own way, but you have to see if it's willing to accept it. I didn't really understand. I swore that the next time I found a puppy, I'd start my grand training plan right away. But I never found another dog. Instead, I found Jackson. When he was little, Jackson was like a scruffy little puppy. He never wore his clothes properly, had a bowl cut, and his bangs looked like they'd been chewed on. I picked him up and brought him home, took off his clothes, and was about to give him a bath. My parents rushed in with his parents. Tessa, what are you doing? Giving the puppy a bath. Both sets of parents laughed. This is your little friend, not a puppy. Oh. But when I hugged him and said, kiss the puppy, he didn't seem to mind. I was convinced. Jackson was my own special puppy. Mine. SAT scores came out. We went back to school for the first round of college applications. Leo's score was much higher than expected. I sat next to him and glanced at his list of choices. His first choice was now USC. UCLA was third. He smiled apologetically. Sorry, looks like we might not be classmates after all. That's great. I gave him a faint smile. After submitting my application, I went back to the pet store. Jackson was completely absorbed in a live stream with a college admissions consultant. Sir, with my scores, do I have a shot at the UCLA Extension School? If that doesn't work, can I just donate a building? I stood outside the door and pulled out my phone to text the scammer. Hubby, the current you is so dumb. You don't even know that the UCLA Extension campus isn't in the same part of the city as the main campus. Jackson turned, saw me, and froze. He shot up, hiding his phone behind his back. Ha! I was just asking for a friend. The Extension School? Not even a dog would go there. When Jackson found out Leo was applying to USC, he was so happy that he got a little too enthusiastic while washing a dog. His joy turned to sorrow when a little Pomeranian bit him. 2 bloody scratches instantly appeared on his wrist. The dog's owner, a beautiful woman in a tank top, flirtatiously offered him her number. You're pretty strong, handsome. Add me on WhatsApp. I'll pay for the rabies shots. Jackson, with his innocent high schooler face, said something incredibly weird. Oh, no need. I have an owner. I took Jackson to get his shots on my aunt's little scooter. This big guy, 6'3", insisted he was afraid of needles. He howled like a husky. The nurse, holding the syringe, couldn't get a hold of his arm. Frustrated, I grabbed his head, turned it, and held him tightly against my chest. I urged the nurse, quick, do it. After the shot, I let go of Jackson. It took a moment for his dazed, unfocused eyes to meet mine. How do you feel? His gaze lingered on my chest, his cheeks flushed bright red, and he said shyly, It was soft and bouncy and smelled nice. He's such a pervert. I gave Jackson a ride home on the scooter. The doctor had said that the vaccine could trigger an immune response and possibly cause a fever. Get some rest. I'll stay here and watch you. And of course, my fears came true. Not half an hour after lying down, Jackson really did start running a fever. His cheeks were flushed, and his breathing was heavy. I took his temperature, 101.3 It was just a low-grade fever. But Jackson kept whining that he felt awful. I found some rubbing alcohol and cotton balls and dabbed behind his ears and the nape of his neck. I unbuttoned his shirt and wiped him down from his chest to his abs. His breathing grew heavy, and he started making outrageous requests. It's hot inside my pants, too. My hand rested on the waistband of his sweatpants. He excitedly thrust his hips up. I slapped him. You can't do any strenuous activity right after a vaccine. Jackson shivered, then wilted. Jackson got into a local college in the same area as UCLA. He complained that living in a dorm meant he couldn't see me every day, so he just bought an apartment near the UCLA campus. On weekends, he would cook, and I would go over for a nice meal. But he was so devious when he cooked. He'd wear an apron that was stretched tight, with nothing underneath. Or he'd just go shirtless, with a towel slung around his waist. It was always on the verge of falling off, held up only by a prayer. It always made my appetite skyrocket. After dinner, I'd want to eat him, too. A couple of days later, my self-control was still holding on, but Jackson broke first. Move in with me, move in with me. A puppy needs to be with his owner every day. I said no. Mainly because my first 2 years of college were packed with major specific courses. It was a crucial time for studying, and I couldn't let myself get distracted by his good looks. When seduction failed, the long-dormant scammer made a comeback. Wifey, I'll be honest with you. For a man, 25 is the new 60. The current me is starting to lose my stamina. You have to cherish 20-year-old Jackson. Me, unbelievable. He was so desperate to get some that he was willing to slander his future self. For my 21st birthday, Jackson cooked a huge feast. After we were full, Jackson went to do the dishes, and I curled up on the sofa to watch a movie. A beautifully wrapped birthday present sat on the coffee table. I opened the pink card. Inside was a unique birthday wish from Jackson. Happy 21st birthday, Master Tessa. 20-year-old Jackson promises you. 30-year-old Jackson will still love you very, very much. I picked up the present. It was heavy. Curious about what was inside, I tore it open. Inside the long, black velvet box wasn't a necklace. It was an exquisite, studded collar. With a slight shake, the metallic studs scattered little points of light across the ceiling. Do you like it? Jackson walked over, knelt by my legs, and closed his eyes. Tessa, put it on me. My breathing hitched. Jackson guided my hands, helping me fasten the collar around his neck. Not satisfied with his little game, I playfully flicked his Adam's apple with my finger. So this is my birthday present? Amichum. Jackson took my hand and guided it under his shirt. This is the real present. Now, Master can unwrap it. He's going to be the death of me. I honestly don't know what breed of dog to compare Jackson to. He was always full of energy. And ridiculously possessive. Once he got his teeth into something, he would never let go. The mattress sank and sprang back. The cotton sheets beneath me were already soaked with sweat. Enough, are you trying to kill me? When he got like this, even my struggles were useless. I won't let Master die. Unless it's from pleasure. This disobedient, bad dog. Jackson's major was business management. He always complained that it was too easy. But as he neared graduation in his senior year, his family's business ran into some trouble. He skipped the internship search and went straight from the textbook to hands-on experience at home. Adversity makes you grow. In just 2 short years of working, Jackson quickly shed his immaturity and became much more mature. At night, I pretended to be asleep. The chest pressed against my back expertly rolled over, and he tiptoed back to the study to work late. In the darkness, I picked up my phone and used a new account I'd registered in advance to add Jackson on WhatsApp. "Hi hubby, I'm from 10 years in the future. I'm your future wife, you know." To make it more believable, I used an AI-generated photo of us as my profile picture. A family of 3. Much more professional than Jackson had been. 2 minutes later, my friend request was accepted. "Jackson, wifey?" "Hi, hubby." The profile picture. "Is that our baby?" "Yep. The baby has my eyes, and your nose and mouth. Cute, right?" "Yeah. Looks like wifey." "Very cute. Hubby, we're very happy right now. So don't be scared, 10 years ago. There's no challenge you can't overcome. Wifey will always love you. You can do this. Kiss." JPG. The study door flew open, and footsteps rushed to the bedroom door. I quickly hid my phone and closed my eyes, pretending to be asleep. The next moment, warm breath tickled the nape of my neck. A hot hand scooped me up, fingers slipping under my pajamas and landing just below my navel. "Wifey. 10 years is too long. Hubby can't wait. Can I request to put our baby on the job ahead of schedule? Jackson's extra. Some people are just born lucky." By the time I was 5, I'd already found my owner, my wife. We were in the middle of moving when my mom got a call from her mahjong buddies. The second she heard they were short one player, she dropped me and ran. I grew up with adults who were always forgetting things. Until that day, when a delicate little girl picked me up. Her clean face and pristine princess dress made me feel ashamed of how grubby I was. But she didn't seem to mind. She hugged me and kissed me over and over. She even called me puppy. I wanted to tell her. My name is Jackson, not puppy. But I was afraid she'd get mad and push me away. So I just quietly let her do whatever she wanted. My mom came back at the worst possible time. If she'd just won one more hand, I could have been completely naked. Her soft, sweet-smelling hands were about to put shampoo on me. She said she was going to give me a bath. A bath sounded great. I wish she could give me a bath every day. I always thought a princess like Tessa was meant to have a perfect life. But she didn't. After middle school, Tessa's parents got divorced. She moved to a new house with her mom and even changed her last name. I don't get her dad. How can you cheat on your wife and still act so self-righteous? Whether her last name was Fong or Chen, she was still Tessa, right? The one and only Tessa. But it didn't matter. We got into the same high school. We could still see each other every day. I was so happy. I confessed to Tessa as soon as we started freshman year. I couldn't help it. She was just too popular. Even being the school's resident bad boy wasn't enough to scare off all her admirers. Humph. Too bad for them, they were all too late. Tessa already had me, her little puppy. The new transfer student got first place in the class. Tessa was under even more pressure. She stayed up all night playing little games on her phone. She tapped the screen so hard it cracked. I couldn't stand to see her bottling up her emotions like that. I wanted to take her to an amusement park to blow off some steam. She didn't want to go. She even told me to stop messing around. I was so mad. I was just trying to show her I cared. Unlike that snake, Leo. All he did was nag her about going to tutoring. This was bad. If this kept up, I was going to lose my wifey. I had to think of a plan, fast. Heh. Tessa is so gullible. I pretended to be her future husband, and she believed me right away. She really loves me. She's been holding me to the high standards of a good husband. I also discovered a new way to help her distress. It just requires me to sacrifice my body a little. I never realized until today how extensive Tessa's knowledge was. Blindfolds, chest harnesses, collars. It made my innocent face turn red. Whatever. Wifey likes it. I'll get it all for wifey. Sob. So wifey knew I was tricking her all along. And she willingly played along with my act the whole time. She really, really loves me. I asked wifey, my scam was so flawless. How did you figure it out? She slapped me. Duh. Who cashes a $5 million lottery ticket at a 7-Eleven? And forget that the drawing was pre-recorded, the host was your uncle.